what's best for the project, what's best for the film, what's best for this. That's how I always settle debates. What's best for this? So if it means me directing it, me producing it, then game, so be it, diba? But obviously I'll be more focused on being, in the creative comms, and there's a lot of other and greater, even more talented filmmakers I love to work with and collaborate with, especially the young ones. Maraming bago also. So I don't mind also taking a step back and also just producing or just creating stories and projects and then just giving it to somebody else and then letting them do it under, of course, I'll have a little bit of supervision. But yeah, that's what I'm also excited about, is to be able to work with other great and talented up-and-coming artists.
Last question ko na, Direk. Sabi mo you're now at peace, you're living the best life. Can we use the word unbothered to describe you?
Parang popular yung unbothered.
Yes.
I think I would be hypocritical to say that I'm not bothered. I am bothered every day, and then I think that's what keeps me going. I don't know it all. I'm not Superman and say, yes, hate me, I'm okay. I also have my feelings, I have my emotions. But, the greatest leaders, the greatest filmmakers, artists in the world are some of the most criticized, some of the most hated too, right? And I think that's what makes great work. If you study, and I always kind of go to this metaphor of how is a diamond made? Diamond is made through the hardest pressure, fire, burning, and then comes the most beautiful stone in the world. So parang if ever that's what it is. And I learned to embrace it also, because sometimes your critics are also right, especially when it comes to film or the arts. I don't know it all, and I never want to tell people that I know it all. So I'm very bothered, but I'm also very motivated, very excited, and very challenged to hopefully in the next 6 years do some of my best work.
Thank you.
Well, supportive husband. Si Toni kasi, she wants to do everything.
Right.
She has a movie, she has a YouTube show, then she has a Toni show on All TV. She wants to do a concert, and then she has other plans, So, happy wife, happy life. So supportive lang ako. Yes. But of course, I'm here to remind her, to also pace herself. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. But if there's something that's great about Toni, is that when she puts her mind to it, kaya niya. And I have full confidence that her 20th anniversary concert on January 20 will be something new, something fresh. And she's so excited to go on stage. It's been a while for her. And we all know that her first love is really singing. And her passion, she started singing. So actually, before I left the house this morning, and like the breathing exercises, like yoga siya, and I think she's gonna go and do her dance rehearsals. So very focused si Toni, and I think we're gonna have a great concert on the 20th, and I hope to see you all there.
Direk, may production number ba kayo sa concert?
May cameo ba?
Right.
My participation will be probably in the audience, clapping and cheering her on. And what I'm actually very excited the most, if I can say, about her concert, it's going to be the first time I really believe that Sevi will see her perform live. Na alam niya. So, kasi when he was 2, 3 years old, he doesn't really remember. So now that he's 6 years old, Sevi is going to see his mom in her element. And that's something I'm very looking forward to. Parang I'm going to watch this concert through Sevi's eyes. So that's what excites me also the most.
And naabangan namin kung kakanta rin si Sevi.
Yun lang, baka pamigay ng flowers.
Thanks, Direk.
Of course, thank you guys.
Our next set of questions will come from the
Contacted me and asked for my services. So yeah, I'm here to help and to support, to hopefully bring new ideas, bring my expertise to different agencies that maybe want to see things from a different perspective. So yun ang trabaho ko, I feel. And just be as creative, be as unique as possible. And I know naman, I'm ready that not all of my projects are going to be successful, but hopefully out of the 10 that I do, there's a couple that makes a difference. And importante lang yan is you just keep going, you keep trying, and just take all those risks. If you fail, come back up, keep going. And I'm ready for the challenge.
Segue naman tayo sa movie mo, My Nature. So, ang collaboration ito sa sa web mo na kay Toni, ano? So, siya yung writer nito. Kung may creative differences kayo, sino yung nasusunod sa inyo?
Ako ang director, di ba? So dapat ako. Asawa ko rin ang
Sa gabi.
Pag bahay, Toni ang boss. Paglabas ng bahay, sa set ko, ako ang boss. No, collaboration talaga. I feel, and I've always been a firm believer in every great project is great collaboration. Any film we do is a collaboration of great artists. And there's something, that's why I say yung best meetings are the ones disagree kami, debate. But what will settle every debate for me, what will settle every argument is we always ask, what's best for the film? What's best for the story? And then hopefully that answers our question. And I'll be honest with you, there are times tama si Toni, mali ako sa set. Sometimes I'm also okay. And Toni admits also, ay, tama ka Direk. Si Joey Direk, tama ka Direk, kung hindi bagay. Pero minsan, okay siya. So it's great collaborators collaborating to make the best story possible. And how are the best made is through discourse and disagreements. So yan ang my teacher. No? So hopefully you guys enjoy it also.
Tanong ko lang, ito bang My Teacher is a comedy?
I'd like to say drama comedy. Drama comedy. More on that inspirational level.
Kasi medyo naninibago kami. Kasi first time, mga serious dramas kasi dinedirect mo. Kasi ngayon, syempre, Jody Leon.
You're right. A lot of my films have been medyo serious. Diba? Mama Manyanita, diba? But
Medyo naninibago kami.
what I liked about this, I'm also a big fan of The Intern or Blindside, yung mga movies na gano'n. And family films. I'm also a father. I have a son, so I thought maybe it'd be nice to do a family drama comedy. And Joey De Leon pa, Toni Gonzaga pa. So it all aligned, and it was a challenge. I'm not saying any film naman is not easy, but I had a lot of fun making this film. I think it's one of the films where I had the most fun. Because Joey De Leon, you're always laughing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of scenes in the film na improv lang ni the great Joey De Leon. Improv lang
Would you
niya.
say this is outside of your comfort zone?
I guess based on my filmography, yes. But as a filmmaker, I guess you just have to be ready to. I love the story. Yung story, I felt it. It may be different from my past films, but I felt good about this film. I felt good about directing it. It may be very different from where I come from, but nandun pa rin ang discipline. So it was very challenging, but it was one of the most fun I've had in any of my previous films. Masaya talaga itong set.
Would we see the serious side of Joey De Leon?
Well, of course, in his character, meron siya din mga regrets and unforgiveness. I think the main lesson that maybe you'll get without giving too much is that when you start something, finish it. Kasi there's a lot of times in our life na nag-uumpisa, sabi we never finish. So yan ang parang character arc ni Joey. And the film tackles obviously about forgiveness, about finishing what you've started. And we kind of set it all in a high school, so which I hope everybody can relate kasi lahat naman tayo nag-school. Diba? So,
And how is Joey De Leon as a dramatic actor?
This is proven. Some of the best comedians are the best dramatic actors. I mean, Hollywood alone, right? You had Robin Williams, diba? Jim Carrey, diba? And here naman, you had a great Joey De Leon, diba? Known for more of his comedy, diba? Yung mga Tito Vic and Joey movies niya. Pero, he cried. I told him pa not to cry, umiyak siya. And then take two, umiyak ulit. So you could feel that may serious side si Joey De Leon. And I don't know, I'm sure all of you know this, but he's a great painter. Magaling siya mag-paint. So, some of the best dramatic actors are the comedians out there. Galing ni Joey.
And then, congrats Direk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Archie.
Well, at this particular moment, of course, yung box office. If I had to choose between the two, only because as a producer, we're recovering. It's been almost 3 years, wala masyadong revenue. We all know streaming has kept it alive, but we also know streaming doesn't pay like what cinemas do. And so, if I were to choose between your question, yeah, box office. And then awards. Of course, awards are, we all know in the Metro Manila Film Fest, malakas yung second week, di ba, pag nag-awards, di ba? Parang ganun. I mean, that's just history, di ba? So, if you're able to get that both, yan ang story ng Siargao. First week ng Siargao, grabe, sobrang bukod kami na wow. And we won like, what, 8 awards? Then yung second week namin, we hit almost 100 million or like 100 million. So, in this case, and I know all the producers, and I really hope all 8 films make money. That the audience, I really encourage the audience this year to watch all 8 entries if they can. You know, because number one, I know you miss cinema. You know, so maybe those 3 years of not watching movies, that's all we'll watch this Metro Manila Film Festival. There's some great entries, unique entries, new ones. So exciting tong edition. Exciting tong
Thank you, Direk. We have a question from Cesar Batinal of Net25.
Hello po, I'm Cesar po from...
It's definitely a milestone in my life. I mean, it was one of the craziest years. You know? We were able to feel every sort of emotion. Of course, you all know, because that was also the election year. But personally, I've moved on, and I'm here now to serve and help the president in whatever capacity. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 years. In terms of my 1017 and TINCAN, I have my partner kind of taking the helm there, si Mark Victor. I don't know if you've seen or heard, but we have a Big Red series called Friendly Fire. Nick Red pitched to us a concept, and it's called Friendly Fire, that will be shooting in January. It's an 8-episode series about e-games, e-sports. So we're very excited about that because we all know the mobile gaming industry is just massive. We also have 2 films from Fifth Solomon. We have Single Bells, which we just shot. That's with Alex Gonzaga and Angeline Quinto, Single Bells. And then we have one that we're shooting, I think this month now, called 3 Words, Fifth Solomon. So that's with Ronnie and LoiNie. We also have a film by Carlo Ledesma, my director from Sunod. He's filming a film called Outside. So it's going to be a busy first half for 1017 and TINCAN. And I know there's other films, I'm not at liberty yet to say kasi hindi pa final. But at least for now, the ones I mentioned, yun talaga for sure, like happening early next year.
And with Miss Toni and your whole family po, what's your plans this year? And ngayon pong magtatapos pa hiwalay na po ang taon. Ano pong plano? Magbabakasyon po ba?
Christmas, we'll stay here. Christmas, we'll enjoy time with our family here. Toni obviously is working on her concert on Jan 20, her 20th anniversary concert. She has her show on All TV called Toni. She still does her Toni Talks. So I still help, oversee that and help her with whatever it is that she needs help in. And well, my son is 6 years old. He's enjoying school now. He's in kindergarten. And yeah, we're just enjoying our best lives now. And hopefully it gets better. And I know that 2023 is probably going to be my most challenging year because I'm entering territory that I'm very unfamiliar with, but that's also very exciting to me. I'm reawakened, and this is a new chapter in my life, a new season. And hopefully I don't just make the President and the First Lady proud, but I also hope to make all of you proud by contributing whatever it is I can for the creative industry. And I've known all of you guys for how many years. In the next few days, I'll probably set up a website or an email, and I'd love to hear from everybody because I want to be that bridge for the people in the creative industry to the administration. If you would let me be that bridge, I'm here for everybody.
And my final question po, do you consider doing films or making films din po ba like what Direk doing? Kumbaga yung ganun po concept, yung ganun inspired by 2 events of what happened before, previously?
Daryl App's doing his own thing. I think that's the position he's in right now, and that's his right as a filmmaker. That's his freedom. If he chooses to do those films, based on true events, and let's all embrace it, whether we like his films or not. That's the world we live in today. That's just the industry. Personally, I feel what he's doing is he's just owning the moment, and he's just really taking the opportunity and just running with it. And I think if any filmmaker can learn from Daryl Yap, it's just his intensity, his motivation, his desire to tell the story that he wants to tell. And I think that's why he's very successful at it, because you see his passion, you see his fire in his work. And if me as a filmmaker, that's what you want. That's what you want. You could probably tell as a film viewer, if you watch a film, you can probably tell, hindi masyadong ganado yung filmmaker dito or yung actor. It's also very challenging to go into every project and give it your all. So if that's one thing maybe I take away and I learn from Daryl Yap is that he's owning the moment, he's running with it. Whatever he believes in, he's making it happen. You have to admire that, whether you agree with him or not. And Toni's very vocal also. Why are you doing that? But we're married and we also understand each other. Same thing with Toni. She wants to do this, she wants to do that. I'm like, really? You want to do that? I'll say, yeah, support. I think a good marriage is about two people clashing, but also two people that can understand and support each other, even though we disagree. And that's why I keep saying, I think if I can take that philosophy, in our marriage, 7 years na kami, 7 years plus mag-8 na next year. What I've learned in the marriage is that here we are, two very different people, many disagreements, but we agree to love each other. We agree to make it work. If we can take that philosophy and put it into our everyday lives, because I'm telling you right now, ma'am, in that table alone, I'm sure all of you there have disagreements, but you choose to sit in the same table. Because if we just need to agree on one thing, we can make a difference. So let's choose that. Let's not focus on the 99 disagreements. If we can find that one thing that we agree with, then we can make something great. And I think that's what kind of defines our marriage, and it defines where we are right now. And hopefully, people can embrace that philosophy somehow.
But in fairness to Toni, Direk, Paul, yung last press ko niya, she's all praises for you. Sabi nga niya, marami siyang natutunan. So, ikaw naman, what can you share ng mga natutunan mo kay Toni being a wife?
Well, of course, whatever I say, everyone will say I'm biased, I'm her husband. But honestly, outside looking in, if I can take a step back and just, from a perspective of not being her husband, or her producer or her director, just outside looking, I really believe Toni is probably the most powerful celebrity today. Only because the criticisms and the hate that she's getting are from equally powerful people. You don't rattle relevant people if you're not doing something better than them. And, of course, I'm her husband and I'm very extremely proud of her. She's also one of the strongest people I know, right? And I've seen her in her darkest moments. I've seen her being very vulnerable, but she chooses to get up every day and face that camera. She could have easily just moved out, taken all the criticism and just, go somewhere else. But what did she choose? She chose to create her own show. She chose to make a concert. She chose to make a film. She's facing it head on. If that's not powerful, I don't know what is. I always tell her, you are at the right place at this right time, because if you also study the path of her career, she's also been one of the most heavily criticized. Go back to her transfer, her network transfer, and all that stuff. She's been on very high-profile shows. So I really believe she's one of the strongest and most powerful women in the Philippines today. And she's not stopping. So that's quite remarkable. Like, whether you love her or hate her, you have to give credit where credit is due. For me,